Okay. Yes, there's the first answer to that question. Brain fog improves. Brain fog improves. What happens is during perimenopause, because the brain isn't getting the same levels of estrogen that it's used to and progesterone, it affects the way it operates. So that you're not getting the ability to think as clearly. Ultimately, the estrogen allows our processing, improves our processing. So when there's less of it, the processing disappears. And coming back to that key thing, stress, the more stressed we are, the more likely the brain is to be affected, because it's going to be switched off by our cortisol coming out of our adrenal glands, and it's not going to have the estrogen that it needs. So stress is a key indicator here, but it's so common. I think about 70% of women will report experiencing issues around brain fog, whether it's as simple as just forgetting words mid-sentence, or more complicated in my case, because there was other complications in there in terms of long COVID and extreme stress. I actually lost connection to my brain. I literally could not think, which is really scary. And so many women start to get worried that they're getting dementia during perimenopause, particularly if there's a family history of it. And the good news is that's usually not the case. In fact, in almost 100% of the cases, not all entirely, but in almost 100%, you will not be getting dementia. It's just normal. So many women experience it. And it's frustrating. The number of times you walk into a room because you've gone in there to get something, and you get in there and you go, yep, haven't got a clue. Or you're mid-sentence, and halfway through the sentence, you suddenly forget what you were talking about, and you've completely lost your thread and you can't get it back. So it's really frustrating. And the more frustrated you get about it, the harder it is to remember what you need to do. So it's a really challenging one, but it does get better. So if you did a brain scan of women during perimenopause, their white cells, the white matter in their brain has reduced, and it's less than the average male at that age. But when you do that same scan post-menopause, women have actually got more white matter there than men, and they've got increased white matter based on when they started. So yes, it goes away. Yes, your memory comes back. It's wonderful. And the worst time for brain fog is usually right at the start of perimenopause, when the brain hasn't adjusted to changes in levels of estrogen. As it gets further into perimenopause, it starts to learn to adjust, and body is readjusting where it gets its estrogens from, so it improves. And all of those things that we've talked about, in other conversations around how we can improve our experience of perimenopause, around the diet that we have and the sugars that we have, and all apply to brain fog in a very big way.